Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful day with us on Live with Lloyd. I am your host, astronumerologist Lloyd Strayhorn. On the 6th of November in the year 2024, that's nearly a wrap. Um, I do want to thank everybody for joining us this evening. I'm going to be talking about the presidential assessment. I understand some people was very upset on one side or the other. Listen, it's hard to win in politics. That's why it's never discussed at tables, and that in the Bible or religion. Normally, those two you leave off the table when you're having dinner with family. But nonetheless, I do want to let you know that my sponsors are brought to you today by Miss Kimberly, Kimbaley, with her Manifest on Purpose. Also, Eric Taylor, who is having a special on his cosmic reading sales and stuff like that. So please make sure you get in touch with him at Eric at bigeastrology.com. Also to Nicholas Brooklyn, that be celebrating 50 years, not no 24, 50 years of being in business at 1396 Fulton Street. In fact, this particular Saturday, the 9th, they are going to be having Brother N. Carew from 1 to 6. He's going to be talking about silver, precious coins. He's got jewelry. It's a pop-up shop. Also, too, intellectualpowers.net with the Rizza Islam. If you click on that QR code, you will receive a 10% discount when you say the numbers. And our new sponsors for the holidays, Jazz Aphrodite's holiday sale. And as you see there, all you got to do is simply go to jazzaphrodite.com. You get 20% off if you use the codes for consultation, planners, report. And if there's a teaching package of 10 or more, well, just use that package. And let me tell you this, she's good. Yes, I know I very partial to the lady, but she's good. I give credit where credit is due. People who know me knows how I roll like that. But now, with today's forecast, I do want to let you know, please like, share, and subscribe. I will never DM you, whether Live with Lloyd or me, Lloyd Strayhorn, for monies. Again, there have been fraudulent people, so it can't be said, folks. It can't be said. I did not have this conversation with you. If somebody's pretending to be me, wanting you to part with your money, it's not me. So I'm just telling you. So please pass the word. But anyway, today is Wednesday, November the 6th. I think I got everything right today. The sun is in Scorpio. The moon is in Capricorn. It's a 1 universal month, 11 universal week, a 7 universal day. So those in the signs of Pisces and Cancer, or if you're born on the 2nd to 7th, the 11th or the 16th, the 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month, well, this is your day. As I may have shared with you Monday, my Star 8 app has been hacked. I've got a good report that some of it's coming together. So hopefully by tonight or tomorrow at the latest, it should be up and running back in form. But I would go into the story behind the hacking and some other things. It's very interesting. You learn things as you go along. But nonetheless, but for those of you, who use the app, you know that each day I do Lloyd's Cosmic Forecast. So I'm going to give you the forecast for today. And this is what it says, that it's Wednesday. Sun is in Scorpio, moon is in Capricorn, 1 universal day, 7 universal week. 11 universal week is a 7 universal day. And I wrote in my report, the Cosmic Report, the goal or objective of today's energy is to start out, if possible, in silent prayer, inspiration, thankfulness, and appreciation, rather than taking anyone or anything for granted, because that's how you're likely to trip yourself up if you're not mindful how the laws of attraction operate during this 24-hour cycle. Actually, if you can visualize, then crystallize what you want on the mental screen of your mind, the obvious becomes more apparent before this day is over. So if you happen to be a Taurus or Libra, and those born on the 6th, the 15th, or the 24th of the month, you are the ones that's likely to attest to this fact. Alrighty, so now that I got that out of the way, let's get started with the show. Alrighty, first of all, congratulations to the President of the United States. I would have said it whether it was Ms. Harris, or in this case, Mr. Trump. Giving credit where credit is due. We seem to be in a climate now about hating one another rather than encouraging or congratulating one another. So, and really, when we do this hate thing or anger thing, is really, really, shall we say, negative to the body. You know, when you hug, it releases endorphins, which are love hormones and stuff like that. But when you hate, it releases negative stuff too. So we wind up with all these illnesses that are really emotionally induced. In fact, there's a book I bought years ago called Emotionally EII, which is emotionally induced illnesses, that a lot of the illnesses we physically have result of anger, hurt, resentment. It's all emotionally induced. Okay. This is why I had Kendall Cobbs on Monday, a hypnotherapist, talking about how stress will kill you. Stress is now considered on the disease factor. I mean, it really hit that level there too. So what I'm saying, it don't make no sense me stressing over who won, whoever won. Congratulations to them. I'm concerned about the effect, how it's going to affect the nation, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter who it is. And I think but this is a climate now where we hate one another rather than say disagree. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing, but the hate to the point that it builds up negativity and anger and bring up high blood pressure and all these physiological illnesses that we have, I don't think it's worth it. But anyway, let me do this. First of all, let me show you the president's chart, the president-elect now, Donald J. Trump. This is his chart. He was born on June the 14th of 1946 at 10:54 a.m. in Jamaica Hospital. He has what is called a somewhat of a splash chart, which means if you look, the planets are kind of scattered around the house. They've only 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. There are only 5 out of 12 houses. There's only 5 houses absent of it. Other than that, it's almost like, and again, there are different forms. This is why I'm going to have my astrologer friend on, Eric Taylor, on the 1st of January of the new year, talking about some of the aspects. But I think basically they call this a splash chart because many of it is kind of spread around. And so anyway, this is his chart for those that are interested from an astrological point of view, from a numerical point of view. Okay, let me do this. This is him here. Give a breakdown. He's this is his name under the Chaldean system. If you notice, it's 24 for the first name, 24 for the last name, which equals a 12. If you look at his birthday, June the 14th, 1946, it adds up to 1966, which is a master number 22. Now, for those that are familiar with numerology, 11 and 22 are the master numbers. Of course, they've got other master numbers like 33 all the way up to 99. And then they've got 111, 222. I've got books that got all this stuff in it. But this would be considered the primary or primal master numbers, which is 11 and 22, which is referred to as the master builder. In cardology, he's a 3 of diamond. In Chinese astrology, he is a dog. His sun is in Gemini. He's a full moon, the full moon to Gemini, which means the opposite sign of Gemini is Sagittarius. So his full moon is in Gemini, and his ascendant is in Leo. That explains his position or the stance he carries, because Leo is considered a magnanimous sign anyway. So what would it now? These were the conditions that I explained at that time. So I'm going to review them. Born on the 14th of June, his key numbers are the 5, 6, and 9. So his best days are always on a Wednesday, Friday, and Tuesday. This is the thing I want you to make note of. So if you can mentally underscore Tuesday, his months are April, May, June, September, October, November. So make note of November. And note of the 5th, because yesterday was the 5th of November on a Tuesday. So he would have had a triple star day yesterday. Okay, his negative, of course, is 8 and 3. Saturday and Thursdays are stretch days. January, March was when he was indicted on all those counts this year. And December, these are all his stress months. Now, until he became the president, I understand about 3 o'clock this morning from what I've told or read, he will make, there've only been 3 Gemini presidents. The first was in 1960, John F. Kennedy, then George H. Herbert Walker Bush in 1989, then Donald Trump in 2017, and now Donald J. Trump in 2024. Now, there's a reason why I'm saying that, because of this man. Now, when I did a show, I explained that if Donald Trump becomes the president, he will do something that no other president has done in over 100 years except to see the person on the screen. His name is President Grover Cleveland. Actually, he was born Stephen Grover Cleveland on March the 18th of 1837 in Colwell, New Jersey, believe it or not. But he wound up being New York's 28th governor of New York City. Okay. He was the fifth of 9 children, believe it or not. His first name was Stephen Grover Cleveland. He was the governor from January the 1st of 1883 to 1885. And it was also in 1885 that he became the 22nd president on March the 4th of 1885, all the way through 1889. Then he lost the next presidential bid, becoming the 23rd president, and ran again and became the 24th president on March the 4th, 1893 to March 4th, 1897. He is the first now Donald Trump has become the second president only in all these years of presidencies of the United States to duplicate what this man has done. Until Donald Trump became the president last night, this man stood in terms of breaking a record. And when I say the president, 2 non-consecutive. He was the 22nd, then he became the 24th. And he died on June the 24th of 1908. Excuse me. So there you have it, folks. Okay, let me see. Let me get this out the way. So that's all I want to explain. So other than that, to me, numerically, I could see now when I was on a show with Eric Taylor, the astrologer, my thing was just, and I was on a couple other shows because people trying to say, well, who gonna win? Who gonna win? And what I tried to do was show the aspects of both candidates and that you make up your mind. So you don't be calling me or sweating me, okay? But I'm saying you can see obviously that everything was in alignment with President Trump yesterday. The 5th, his birthday, he's born on the 14th. 1 + 4 is 5. November is one of his months. Tuesday is one of his days. Well, November is a challenging month to Kamala Harris, and Tuesday is a challenging day to Kamala Harris, because if I did hers, you'll see that where his strong days are or her challenging days. So that's how it goes, okay? So nonetheless, whether you like it or not, we have the next president of the United States. The role is how will the citizens of this nation be affected, good, bad, or indifferent. And that's it. So anyway, other than that, I am here today. You know what I like to do every now and then is I like to do readings on people or answer questions as much as I can. All righty. So let me see. Let me go back a second. And everybody, I want to thank you so much. I see you come far and wide. I also want to thank my moderator on Wednesday, Empress Rel. She is the best. I mean, I'm a lucky guy. Every Monday and Wednesday, I got the greatest ladies on the planet assisting me. So please listen to them. They know what they're doing. When they say get the thumbs up, it's absolutely free. It don't cost you a penny. None. All right. But I do have to thank the Williams in Chicago, Stephen and Carol Williams. They sent a donation already. So to them, Ashe, thank you very much. Most appreciated. And you know what I'm finding out? The range of people listening to this show in England, I think one was in South America yesterday or Monday. But anyway, I thank all of you. And it'd be curious where you do come from. For some of you who would like to give your birthday, okay. This person here says they had to download, referring to the Star 8 app. I'm told it should be back up and running. Believe me, I've been calling, and especially I'm concerned about the paid subscribers and there will be some comp. I don't know how they're going to do it. They got to do it. All I know is that my Star 8 mobile app was hacked, but they are working on it. I think they found out the cause and actually who did it, and now they're working on getting it up and running again. So hopefully, they told me about today and tomorrow because I've been fussing just a little bit, just a little bit, not much, fussing a little bit, okay. And I know by this time next week, There's no excuse this coming Monday. Anyway, thank you. So Wisdom Wednesday. Thanks, Kai Love. I appreciate this. All of y'all have been very nice. Please, as Mike Bailey says, hit the like button, and peace to you too, Mystery Arcade. I thank you very, very much. And here's one of my favorite ladies or favorite persons. I assume it's a lady, but I look for this almost every Monday and Wednesday. Now that don't make no sense, as if she don't have a life. Okay, if they don't have a life, all right. But they do this, and it's so encouraging. So Melanated Brown, thank you very, very much. Mike Bailey says heavy Pluto and Aquarius energy coming out of this election. It is true. There's going to be planets that are taking place. Uranus, for example, is going to be going into the sign of Aquarius and will be there until 2044. Pluto will be in Aquarius. And what Pluto is the planet of transformation, which I'm going to have a professional astrologer explain it in a layman's term. But what is this? What I mean is Pluto is that planet that transforms things, where I always describe it this way, that winners become losers and losers become winners. So all of the elite, the global this and that, and all those who think that 2030, you will not want for anything, well, they don't understand the heavily influences of the stars. That's all I can say. So time will tell us. Only 2024 with 6 more years to go, and we will see exactly how happy you will be. But Pluto is transformative. It's in the futuristic sign of Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius, which is a revolutionary sign in and of itself. So that's all I'm saying. Okay. So it can't be said we did not have this cosmic conversation. All righty. So Kai Love, thank you. Please hit the like button. I agree. And hi, Strawberry and Taylor B. And in fact, she is going to be a guest on my show on December the 11th. We're going to be talking about one of the world's most popular, famous personalities on planet Earth. I'll give you 5 guesses and the last 4 don't count. Because if y'all don't know who it is, you will know on December the 11th, which she's a guest on the show. Hotep to you, by the way. And Empress Rel says, please hit the like button as you enter. I like Stephen Williams. He says, y'all take off your shoes, okay? Y'all come in here, take off your shoes and hit that like button. That's my man. And he's got a beautiful family. If I ever go to Chi-Town, I'm going to let them know and look them up. They have been so supportive. Teresa Bright, greeting and happiness, Mr. Strayhorn, and everyone in the room. And the same thing to you too, Teresa. Okay. Thank you also, Ms. Kimberly. Peace and love to you too. She is the one who sponsors my Manifest on Purpose show. And I'm going to have her as a guest on the show November the 20th. Okay. Finally talked to her into being a guest on the show. So Ms. Kimberly, thank you very, very much. She's an awesome lady. Anyway, I want y'all to hit the like buttons for Mike Bailey. Thank you. Okay, we got one of our first readings today. Okay, she didn't give a chance to Lisa. Okay, this is Mariah Harris, 444, May 15th of 92. I didn't get a chance to leave behind a toxic job last month. Couldn't find one. I'm trying to find a job this month before Mercury retrograde starts. Mercury starts November the 25th, by the way. It's the last Mercury retrograde for 2025. And it goes from November the 15th to November the 25th under the sign of Sagittarius, and it ends on August the 15th, if memory serves me correct. It's always a period of 21 days. Can I still leave? It's really bad. Okay, well, I'll say this. When I look at your cycle, I'm looking at the cycle that you're in right now, which is a 1 cycle year, which means you have been in a 1 personal year for 2024, which means you're going to be entering an 11 or 2 personal year for 2025. Now, your numbers, by the way, that should help you are the 6, the 3, and the 9. These are always your best numbers, which means your best days are always on a Friday, Thursday, and a Tuesday. So since we're heading into a year that matches you, which is one of your numbers, which is a 9, it's in the 3rd position of like a win place or showing a horse race. And since the year is a 9 and it's really 6 upside down, what it simply means is this, that right now, looking at your cycles, your best months are always in March, April, May, October, November, and December. So whatever moves you make sure you make those moves on the Friday first, while that rules 6, then Thursday, which rules the 3, then Tuesday. So though the calendar would say Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, your calendar is just reversed. Friday's always first. That's when you go into interviews, look for jobs, put in your, submit your resumes, whatever the case is, schedule interviews, whatever, followed by Thursday, then followed by Tuesday. But it simply means this too. Don't worry about being in a panic, because the cycle you're in, which is a 2, if I keep it that way, or even if it's an 11, 1 plus 1 is 2, means just be patient, take your time, and kind of just throw things out there. And if it's 11, visualize what you want. And then, as they say, let go and let God. But I think your chances are very good of finding something. But don't forget, over the last month and a half, they've been laying off a lot of people, about thousands of people off Boeing, bank closed in Oklahoma. So a lot of people are going through some adjustments. Okay, so that may be it. But looking at your birthday, you should do fine, because 15 denotes money, gifts, and favors from others. So fear not, fear not. Okay. Empress Well says they need 23 to hit the like button. We just only 22 minutes into the show. It's absolutely free. Now people can donate their monies or whatever. And this is free. Y'all have no excuses. Okay. Okay. Empress Well, she's into astrology. She says his natal chart shows that he was a winner through and through, because his sun in Jupiter, if you notice, was up in the 10th house, which is a house of career. His moon was in the sign of Leo. So it makes a lot of sense. And Darius says facts. Okay. Sister Maya, thank you very much. This is my girl. She's September the 13th. And she's always very, very pleasant. I'll see her on a bike every now and then, so it's real cool. And good evening to you, Florbert. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And Alicia Velma. I'm trying to give acknowledgement to everybody. Lacey Green, for example. And okay, here is Romain Septo, okay, or Roman Septo. It all depends. Okay. Now, this is interesting. The way this person does their birthday tells me this person wasn't probably born in this country. Normally, we do it whereby we put the month first, the day second, the year in its third position. This is totally in the reverse, which suggests to me that this person was probably born in another part of the world, or whatever the case is. And then, for example, let's say you have a person born on March the 5th, and I'll be right with you, Romaine. March the 5th. Well, we will say 3-5. But in England or other parts of the world, they'll say 5-3. Where you thinking is May the 3rd, it's really March the 5th. So these are some of the little things I've learned and mastered where I can acknowledge people from around the planet. So everybody's got the way of how they express, but be that as it may, one thing is certain, that's September the 9th of 1997. If you notice, I got 4 9s in the name, in the birthday. So this person is very proactive, very energetic, very assertive, which is the nature of a 9 anyway. Can be very combative, or warlike, all depending on their situation, and normally have very good opinions of themselves. And so what it means is this. With this year, this person, we're about to enter the period of the 9, because 2025, those 4 digits adds up to a 9. This person is born in the 9th month. On the 9th day, will enter a 9 personal year on top of a 9 universal year. So the Romaine, this is going to be a very good year for you. Yet, on the other side of the equation, keeping it real, it's going to be a year that if you are a person who is impatient, a person who just rush into things, the year not only can be your blessing, but your nemesis also. All right. So in other words, don't get caught up in the arguments and confrontations and fender benders and, handling knives or sharp instruments or guns, much less. If you do that, it rules. 9 is more of an accident number. So you're going to hear about a lot of accidents and a lot of explosions and a lot of things that are more not disease oriented in its nature, but more accident and explosive symbolically in its nature as well too. So your key numbers, though, regardless, is the 9, 5, and 6, which means that Tuesday and Wednesday and Fridays are always your best day. And to Highland out in Hawaii, who is a Gemini 7 person, aloha to you too. And glad to make the live. And this is one of my favorites that I had on this this Monday, Hypnosis with Kendall. I'm going to have her husband on hopefully before the year is over. And she says, thanks for the wonderful time on the show this Monday. Free stress management audio has been sent out to your viewers. In other words, she gave her email. Okay. And if you send into her email, all you got to do is go to YouTube and look at Monday's show. She will all send you all a stress management audio, and she sent it free. Okay. And so since many of us get into this, give me, can you spare? Is it free? Y'all have no excuse but to lower your stress level. Turn down the volume. Okay. There's a lot of pressure cooker. Hi, Kendall Bell. How are you? And co-colors. Also, these are all my favorite people. You know what I'm saying? This is good. And also Taylor B said, thank you, Kendall, for the recording. Yes. And she responds by saying, you're most welcome. I hope you enjoy it. All righty. Now, Alchemy Kim, she says, okay, let's see. They are born December the 31st of 1965 at midnight. Midnight means her sun is at the bottom of the horoscope, which is around first, second, third, somewhere around the third house. Your sun is probably sitting in the third or fourth house. Okay, the third house will be Gemini, the fourth house will be Cancer. And if it is sitting in the Cancer side, it means there's a more mothering nature to your sun personality. And so actually, if that's the case, well, that's where your sun is, not your moon. But anyway, this is Donna Summer's birthday, Odetta, the famous balladier's birthday, and a couple other famous people of note. My good buddy in California. But nonetheless, though, it tells me you are a Capricorn 4 person. It tells me you will be going through a 6 personal year. And to be very honest, and 6 is a somewhat challenging number to the 4, it's not that you can't get through the year, but it means it is a cycle of compensation, a cycle of duty and obligation. So if you're going to do something, follow through with it. If you make a commitment or promise, go through it. But it tells me, though, you're definitely going to be changing your hair style, Alchemy. And in fact, since October last month is always a preview month and you were in a 6 personal month, I would say you've already, if you haven't actually physically done it, you're probably working on that as we speak now. How am I going to do it? Should I lengthen it, streak it, shorten it, restyle it? We just get a haircut and get our beard or mustache shaved. That's it. We kind of simple. You ladies, well, y'all know how to hook your hair up a whole lot of ways. But your lucky numbers are always the 4, 1, and 8. And 4s and 8s are always misunderstood. So I know, Alchemy Empress, is not easy being you at times. Bless your soul. It's not your fault. It's just a combination of the numbers that you come into. So again, your numbers are the 4, the 1, and the 8. And Sunday, Saturday, and in a minor way, Mondays are always your best days. And I also want to thank Vince Center. Let's see, and Doris Smith, thank you. Here's my good buddy Stephen E. I know he's a Scorpio, right? And he's got a birthday coming up literally 11 days from now, because the day's the 6th. So we want to be the first, Stephen, to wish you happy birthday, buddy. And he's born at 10:24 a.m. So that means your son, let me see. So your son is probably sitting in the 11th house. No, your son is sitting in the 10th house. That's where your son is sitting at. One day I'm going to explain how I do all this stuff. And all of it is learned by the process of numbers, because each house has a period of 2 hours. To the right side of the horoscope is always the AM hours. To the left side is AM hours. To the right side is always the PM hours. So I know if you're born in the PM, I look to the right side. If you're in the AM hours, I look to the left side. Okay. And if you're at 12 noon, I go high. If you're 12 AM, I go low, as somebody used to say. When they go high, we go low. So anyway, you will be entering, first of all, the year is coming up, 2025 is a 9. And it favors those under Aries and Scorpio and Leo. So if you are under those signs, not only you, Stephen, but other Scorpions, other Leos, other Aries, then you three will be the top dog, astrologically speaking, for the year of 2025. And it tells me very philosophical, very determined. Born on the 17th is called the eight-pointed star of Venus, or the star of the Magi. That's the other definition that I don't say. But it also means the power of financial success or the number of immortality too. And so it means as you get older, your life gets better. And I would say, looking at your birthday, that probably between your 33rd and 35th birthday that things started coming under more control. But nonetheless, birthday person, your numbers are the 8, 9, and 6, and your best days are always on a Saturday, Tuesday, and a Friday. All right, now this is Vince Center, born. Whoops, thanks, Stephen. This is Vince Center. What's in store for them for 2025? Well, you will be entering a 5 personal year. That's exactly what you'll be doing. 5 is, you know how you, okay, this is the alpha, this is the omega, right? So this is 1, this is 9. I forgot when I'm looking, I got to look at backwards, is backwards. But the point is, you're heading, for you this year, coming up 2025, you'll be at the hit midway point in the 9-year cycle. That's why it's called the pivotal cycle. This is when you switch. This is when you switch directions. You go this way or that way, all depending on the conditions of things that's in front of you. Normally, it denotes changes for the better in whatever way, shape, or form. What do I mean? Well, some of you in a 5 personal year like you will want to change for the better in health, because I'm looking at your birthday and it tells me you have some concerns with the stomach and digestive tract, sensitivities. If you're a woman with the reproductive organs, a man with maybe prostate or something of that nature, or very finicky and fussy. Not only that, but under the sign of Capricorn, it rules the knees, teeth, or bone. So it tells me if you're a woman, it's probably more on your left side. If it's a man, you're probably on your right side. So these are some of the things that are coming up. But it tells me you will have an opportunity to make some changes for the better, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in health, whether it's in finances, whether it's in relocation. But it also is a cycle of opportunities too. So all you got to do is just be ready. Your key numbers, by the way, are the 2, the 7, and the 8, and Mondays and Saturdays, along with Fridays, are always your best days. All righty. Okay. And Mr. VIP 317, it says, an excellent show as always. It's interesting. They're born on the 12th of the month of January, which means you will be entering a 4 personal year. Now, 4 is not considered one of your best numbers. Here's the point. Just as we have good numbers, we have numbers that challenges us. You can't get around them. It's just how you deal with them. If you know it's raining, for example, you know you don't go out in rainy weather without some proper gear, an umbrella, raincoats, galoshes, as you used to say, or rain boots. All righty. Now you can go out there all kind of ways you want to with no raincoat, no umbrella, and no boots. But if you wind up with some cold or pneumonia, this is what I'm saying. So it's not that you, because the sun don't come out every day. And once you realize that, you will know how to act accordingly. So so you're going to be into a year that's going to cause you to put your shoulders to the wheels, as I call it, maybe work up a sweat, but you got to put in the work. That's the thing about a 4-cycle year. And nowadays, and you're born in a generation where you don't have that entitlement. People kind of in the 90s and 2000s, some of them got, not all of them, so I'm not trying to blanket everybody, but more than enough of them are in this entitlement kind of mindset. And nobody owes nobody nothing, really. And so once you think of it like that, but with you being a Capricorn too, which is a workaholic, in fact, this is the same birthday as Jeff Bezos. You just don't have his money yet. But Jeff Bezos is born on this day. Howard Stern, the radio guy, who's very wealthy. Rush Limbaugh, that passed away during the presidential run of Donald J. Trump, who's his supporter and a very strong conservative, was also born on this day. So this is a money-making birthday. So don't forget. So you may not have all these zillions of dollars, but richness come in other forms other than money. Okay. Are you happiness in your richness? Are you at peace in your, you know what I'm saying? Those are the kinds of things too. Because these guys can make all this money, they get sick. They got to give all that money to the doctors. So it really makes no difference. So it all depends on your attitude. But nonetheless, Your key numbers are the 3, 8, and 6, and your best days are always on a Thursday, followed by a Saturday, followed by a Friday. So you are an earth sign with a fire number, practical and pragmatic. Okay, this is Kendra Bell. Was energy intensive because it was 29 degrees Mars. Okay, now that's interesting. See, I need to have Eric on here to break this down, Kendra Bell. Um, was energy intensive because it was 29 degrees Cancer Mars with 29 degrees Pluto. You know what? I need now. This is when I either need Dominic Holmes on here, my astrologer, Kalia Washington, my astrologer, Eric, my astrologer, Hood Mystic, my astrologer. These are the people I need to have on to answer those kind of questions. But I know this 29 denotes trials and tribulations, grief and deceptions caused by members of the opposite sex, and hidden things and grief and deceptions too. So if it means that, and especially with Cancer and Mars, because we're looking at a Moon Mars opposition, okay, and I'm looking at Pluto, that is a Saturn Pluto arrangement as well too. Oh, so that's how I'm looking at that. All righty, all right. Let's see. Darius, good afternoon. Any insight on me for the month of being in a LP? LP? Life Path 9, I guess that's what he means. Let me see. They're born in the year of the 5. Yep, 9. That's what LP means, Life Path. Life Path simply means the month, the day, and the year you're born. They call it Life Path, Birth Path, Destiny Number, whatever. I call it him being in the school of life. He's in the 9th grade in the school of life. So that means you must learn how to be a humanitarian. But nonetheless, to answer the question, you are a water sign with a fire number. So that means sensitive and intuitive and like emotional about some of the things you do, yet you're very passionate, which is the nature of a 9. I mean, of the nature of a fire number, proactive, which is the nature of a fire number. This is the same combination as Harry Belafonte, who was a Pisces 1. I think he was on March the 10th, though. But he had that consideration for the community and yet very passionate and always spoke his truth. The person, always remember, folks, anybody you see who's a number 1 or a number 9, they are known to speak their truth. Now, a lot of times they people perceive them as being mean. They're not mean. They're just honest. So if you're a knucklehead, you know, my thing is you're a knucklehead. That's it. But this person is going to go into a 4 personal year, which is not bad because their numbers are the 1, 4, and 3 anyway. So this year has been very important for them. They've been in a 3 year for the most part. And that should have been a very busy, expansive year for them, self-improvement, enhancing their good name or reputation. But now they got to kind of hone it in, get it together, follow some kind of roadmap or plan or blueprint, or have some things set in place so they know when they go to this step, what's the next step? Not anything on helter-skelter or impulsive in that thing. And since Pisces is a psychic sign, but yet the cycle that you're going into says you got to be more structured and organized. It's nice to have that psychic and intuitive side, but also you got to have some commonsensical strategy approach, like playing chess. You just don't go all over the board. You got to know what moves to make in order to get to the chess mate or checkmate, as they call it. All righty. However, your numbers are the 1, 4, and 3, and your best days are always on a Sunday and a Thursday, more than anything else. And I would put in Tuesday too, since that's a fire day. Okay. All righty. Melanated. Do you ever give your birthday? You got to give your birthday so I can get in your business one day. Okay. Bernadette Coleman, peace and greetings to you too, lady. I thank you. Now, Melanie Owens, all right. She just had a birthday. So happy belated birthday on Halloween Day. I would sing to you, but I cannot sing it all, so we not gonna mess up your birthday, okay? But what I'll tell you is this year has been a year where everything has been really in some kind of boundary, some kind of restriction. The nice thing about it is the year for 2025, which is literally right around the corner, that just broke out for you in October, your birthday month, tells me you're ready to make a change. You're ready to spread your wings. You're ready to breathe. You're ready to just get some space to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. So that restrictions you've been under, if you got this feeling now you want to just break out and just be left alone and don't be clocking me and where I'm going and how I'm doing and when I'm coming back, That makes all the sense in the world. But by the way, too, Melanie, you like to be different. That is your hallmark. And it also suggests from the month you were born, you were probably out on your own between your 19th and 22nd birthday anyway. So anyway, and so since 4 is a loner number, because you're born on the 31st, 3 plus 1 is 4, the year is going to change for you coming for 2025. And why did I say that? Well, about 15 minutes ago, I says that if you are an Aries, or if you're a Scorpio, that's you, or a Leo, you have your breakout moments coming up literally right around the corner. It does suggest going into the month of December, though. Let me see, because if you're in a 5 personal month, that means you've been in a 6 month, you're in a 6 month for November. So I know you're making some adjustments right now. And then in December, next month, it tells me you need to go somewhere where there's the sand, the sea, and the sun and just get away. So maybe you might spend some of the holidays kind of like out of the United States, somewhere where there's sand and sea and nice weather and all that stuff as the weather gets colder. But your numbers are the 4, 1, and 5, and Mondays and Sunday, followed by Tuesdays are your best days. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I think we do have great guests on the show. I've got one coming up on Monday. Her name is Kendra. She is into yoga, stuff like that. So I'm not going to tell you about that, but you'll find out Monday when I have her on. All righty. Okay. Um, Thanks so much. This is also Kendra Bell from Baltimore. Yay, Baltimore. Okay, good. Okay, now Melanie says she was born at 9 a.m. in the morning. Don't forget, when it's a.m., you look on the left side of the horoscope. If it's p.m., you look on the right side of the horoscope. And here's how you can tell too. On the horizon, on the left side, it starts at 6 a.m. To the far right of the horizon is 6 p.m. And that each house is a period of 2 hours. So house number 1 starts at 6, so it's at 6 to 7, 7 to 8. That's why I know. And so then the second house, or the house number 11, because that's the 12th house. So the 11th house, which is the house of Aquarius, would be from 8 to 9, 9 to 10. So therefore, Melanie, your sun is sitting therefore in the 11th house, the house of Aquarius, which is groups, things of that nature. That's how I do it. And thanks, you're from Connecticut. All right. And now this is uh Floyd Burt. I hope I'm not messed up your name. But anyway, and Supu, Shupu, Shupo. Okay, forgive me. I know this. Without question, you're born the same day as Michael Jackson's father. Okay, that's his birthday, July 26th. So that means you are a fire sign with an earth number, passionate and practical, proactive and conservative. Very, very interesting combination. And this means that your tendency is to be more misunderstood than anything else. You were born in 1991, which is 20, which is called the awakening, raising people's consciousness and awareness, which is what you're likely to be doing in the earlier part. So the month, the day, and the year tells me symbolically you are in the 8th grade in the school of life. This grade that you're in is the school of philosophy. It is this also the cycle of fate or destiny. So let's say you are married, right? More than likely, the person you married may not have been the person that you had planned to marry, but as fate or destiny steps in, this is who you married, okay? But I tell you this, you've always felt comfortable around older people. Although you are young biologically in your 30s, mentally, it belies a much older person. So if you've been with a much older person or felt comfortable in a relationship with an older person, that would make sense in the world too. Plus, I'm looking at your name and I see a couple of 7s. I see a couple of maturity numbers up in your name. I see a couple of 7s and 8s in your name. So this would only add to this maturity you have, even the month you're born, which is the 7th month. But nonetheless, regardless, your key numbers are the 8, the 1, and the 4. And your best days are always on a Saturday and a Sunday. I enjoy this. Okay. I got to be honest. This is why I'm teaching a course in this in February. I want to teach people how to, you can make a living. I'm proof of it. I am proof of it. If somebody says you can make a living of just about anything if you want to. There are requirements. 1, you got to believe you can do it. 2, you're going to be tested. The Creator has a way of testing your faith, testing your conviction, how much you really want it. Okay. Then number 3, you will have criticisms. You will have doubters. You will have haters. But if you really believe in what you want, so Just to give you an example, when I told my dad I wanted to be a numerologist, he thought I said neurologist, which is a doctor. So, in the black family, it's like, oh, we got the first doctor. Okay, Lloyd's going to be here. And then he asked me later, well, what is I want to be? I says, I want to be a numerologist. And as a parent, he says, well, how you going to feed your family? I had no clue. I really didn't have a clue in the world. I just knew I found my passion. And so this is what I'm saying. Every single one of you out here in the viewer audience got a passion. It's just, A, are you going to follow it? Are you willing to follow it? But more than likely, are you willing to pay the price for it? Disappointments, setbacks, delays, doubts, criticisms. It's gonna come at you all kind of ways. But when you break past it, as I was able to do, I'm telling you, on the other side, it is sweet. That's all I can tell you. And this is an example for whatever all of y'all want to do. If you found something that people don't agree, now as long as you ain't blocking nobody's blessings, as long as you ain't standing in nobody's way, as long as you ain't doing no mean-spirited things for that, you have a right to follow your star. But be prepared that if you think it's going to be like on television, because you got to understand, on the television show, they got a half hour. So everything's got to go by the script. Everything's got to be flawless. In the real life, it may take you months. It may take you years. But the point is, if you're diligent, God always honors diligence. So just keep that in mind, folks. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Anyway, by the way, yeah, I said your numbers are the 8. Yeah, your numbers are the 8, 1, and 4. And your best days are Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Thank you. Thank you. And good afternoon, Professor Lloyd. People think I'm a doctor too. No, I am good at what I do, though, but I don't hold a degree. My degree is in my head based upon the things I do. Anyway, Cheryl Herbst, this is a regular. Thank you, Baltimore. They're born October the 8th of 62. Is December looking good for you? Yes. You know why? Because if you look at my book, one of your best months are always on January, March, May, October, and December. So, oh yeah. Not only that, you're going to be in a 9 personal year. And so for this December, if I did this right, yeah, you've been in an 8. It just tells me you're going to be changing things around. And also you may have to change your diet up a little bit as you go into the holidays. But for for 2025, you will be in a 9 personal year, which means some of the fundamentals of your dreams come true. Right now, this has been a very important year that we're still in, because we're still in the year officially of November the 6th of 2024, and 2024 adds up to an 8. You're born on an 8. You're in an 8 personal year. You're in an 8 universal year. So you got a lot of factors left. You still got a month and a half to do some things, and your best days to do them are always on a Saturday 1st, a Friday 2nd, and a Thursday. So although your calendar, the calendar we have say, well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, your cosmic calendar says Saturday's 1st, Friday 2nd, Thursday 3rd. These are the days in which you carry under the pack. These are your angel numbers, the 8, 6, and 3. Your angelic days are Saturday, Friday, and Thursday. So as for next year, it's going to be a year of dreams come true. You're going to be in a 9 year, and also you're going to decide that you need to let something go. As for Sun Goddess, she's 3-3. So that means she's a Pisces 3 person. That means water and fire, passion, and persistence, which is one of her things. And she's born at 10:17 p.m. So that means I look on the right side of the horoscope, see, because she's on the PM side. So I know that on the western horizon, the eastern horizon is 6 a.m. The western horizon is 6 p.m., right? So 6 to 7, 7 to 8 would be in that house, in the 7th house. Then 8 to 9, 9 to 10. So you would be 7, 8, 7th house, 8th house, 9th house. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would be somewhere in about the 3rd or 4th house. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in the 4th house. Okay, that's the house of Cancer. That's the mothering, nurturing house. That's where your sun would be at 7:15 p.m. Okay, but nonetheless, regardless of that, Sun Goddess 89, it tells me your key numbers are the 8, the 3, the 6, and the 9. And in fact, if I took the month and day to the year you're coming into for 2025, I'm rushing myself, you will be in a 6 personal year. So that means romance and finances are coming your way. But the emphasis is on more romance first. When I mean that, you don't have to be getting married or pregnant, but you want to kind of stabilize a relationship of some sort, maybe commit to a relationship of some kind. You're going to go for a makeover, whether losing a pound or two, whether changing your hairstyle. I know all that's been in the works since last month, to be honest with you. And now, if you haven't done it, it's been on the brain where you're going to actually be ready to execute that. But your best months are always in March, April, May, October, November, and December. So your angelic days are the 3, 6, and your angel numbers are the 3, 6, and 9. Your angelic days are always on a Thursday, a Friday, and a Tuesday in that order. All right, Yancy, Yolanda. Yolanda is April 11th. So this is a master number 11, which is ruled by fire and a fire sign. So that means very, very passionate. Now, you got all those question signs. I don't know what that means, but I can tell you this. In your name, you got a lot of sevens. In your name, you got some fives, because I'm looking at it. Yeah, you got, so it tells me you're very, very analytical, Yolanda. And so this tells me this is why probably some of your girlfriends think you ain't all that, or you think you better than me. And it's not that at all. And even the year you're born in tells me that you're going to end your last days off very well off financially, influential women around you, whether that time you have a daughter or a granddaughter or an auntie or mom or sister or whatever the case is. Men will help you too, but not so much like the men will do, women will do. And it tells me even though you had the struggle in the earlier parts, you are about to be more than compensated. Your key numbers, by the way, are the 2, the 7, and the 6, and your best days are always on the Monday and the Friday. And if you take my course, I'll teach you how to do this. And I have proof because I have several people that I know that are coming on to show you. And it's not that they're showing off, but it's to show you the level that, and I mean, they are so like, wow, talking about making a teacher feel good. They're all good. They're all good. And all of you can be good too. Yes, it's going to take study. I'm decades ahead into this. So right now, nobody can catch me in that sense. So yes, I make it look easy, but you can do it too. Practice, practice, practice. Okay. This is Denise Sparrow. They are born on July 19th of 62 at 3:15 p.m. So I look on the PM side. Okay. Right there. All right. So with that being said, you are a water sign with a 5 number. So that seems kind of contradictory, but it all depends on what day of the week they catch you on. So one day you may be highly emotional. And since Cancer is ruled by the moon, it is important in your interest, Denise, that you pay attention to the ebb and flow of the full moon and the new moon. Like we just had a new moon on the 2nd of November. So the new moon, you're very proactive, a lot of get up and go 14 days from now, because if it's on the 1st, that means the full moon will be somewhere around about the 14th or 15th, if memory serves me correct. If I do my math correctly, see, the 15th. Yep, on the 15th, on a Friday too. Okay, so that'll be a full moon day. And so it simply means your emotions might come more to the fore. With the new moon, the mental faculties may come more to the fore. But nonetheless, it tells me born on this day, you do not take orders well. You would have made an excellent leader in the area of law, medicine, science, or the government, things of that nature, and also very decisive and know what you want. And with that said, your key numbers, and you got 4 of them. Your numbers are the 1, 4, 2, and 7. And your best days are always on a Sunday and a Monday. Those are your days. Okay. Thank you very much. This is Lady S. Um, this is Lady S. S Lady 717. Okay. They're born on January the 25th of 1969. Now, what's interesting, if you look at 1969, that adds to 25. The year you're born also gives a clue to one of your parents, you know. Let's say you got somebody born in 1979, right? Well, 1 plus 9 plus 7 plus 9 equals 26, and 2 plus 6 is 8. Since 8 rules the sign of Capricorn, there's a higher than average chance that one of the parents could have been born under the sign of Capricorn or under Aquarius or under Libra. And so I mean, there's so many ways that I can get to the possibility of finding out a parent's birthday. Just by, so in this case, since you, Lady S Lady, are born in 1969, which is 25, It tells me one of your parents could either been a Pisces or Cancer, or born on the 2nd to 7th, the 11th to 16th, the 20th to 25th, or the 29th of any month. Okay? It's just that simple. And the fact, and I can tell you, you were conceived in the month of May, which is none of my business. Okay? But the fact that you were born on January the 25th, which is a 7, it probably tells me somewhere around late April, May, your mom and dad had a little fun, and you was probably the result of it. Okay? But nonetheless, you are very sophisticated, very independent, always had a mind of your own, out on your own between your 19th and 22nd birthday, and love to analyze and love to get to the bottom of things. You make an excellent detective, analyst, research, investigator, very individualistic, very sarcastic if people rub you the wrong way, and never run out of questions. Not because you're a woman, but you just can't help it. Sevens love to ask. So if any of y'all are dealing with a person born on the 7th, the 16th, or the 25th of any month, especially all depending on what sign they're born under, be prepared. You can't come in the house and they say, honey, how was your day? And you just say, fine. And and they're saying, and okay, and what? Fine, how? What did you do? What didn't you do? Did we get a raise today, honey? Or whatever the case is. So be prepared. And for those of you who don't like to be questioned, 7s and 5s are the curiosity numbers. They love to question things. And so if you don't like to be, that's it. But nonetheless, though, you will be in an 8 personal year for 2025. So that means reaching the level of maturity, reaching the level of responsibility, looking at the year. I would expect you to get some kind of raise or think about retiring in some kind of way, shape, or form, coming of age, getting a piece of property, moving into a home, dealing with legacies, establishing a trust or documents of that nature like that, a will, whatever the case is. But it's going to be a great year for you. And I wish you all the best. Your numbers, by the way, you have 4 numbers too, which is a 7, 2, 1, 4, and 1. 7, 2, 4, and 1. Okay, Lacey says she screamed when I said your name. Screaming, you said my name. Okay, thanks, Lacey Green. Okay, now this person is Soul Goddess, all right? And they're born at 1:15. Now they didn't say AM or PM, but they're born in Brooklyn. That much I know. They were born in the year of 1988, which adds up to an 8 because 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 8 adds up to 26, and 2 plus 6 equals 8. So it tells me one of your parents could have been Soul Goddess, a Capricorn or an Aquarius, or perhaps a Libra, or born on the 4th, the 8th, the 7th, the 13th, the 17th, the 22nd, 26th, or 28th of the month. But you happen to be a Leo. And so with a Leo, that tells me you're fire and air. Now, these are elements that stimulate each other. So it tells me you're young and old at the same time, or old and young. You got your choice of which direction you want to take it. But nonetheless, you would always need your space. I would say whoever you are, you have more than just looks, so to speak. And this is a society that make women put emphasis on their looks rather than their abilities. But all women every single one of us got an ability if you understand that. But again, this is a culture that perceives us in packaging. If you got the right package, I don't care what's inside the box, as long as the package looks nice on the outside. And therefore, this may explain why we're very superficial with each other too, when we need to learn how to go in depth and not be too perceived about the outside packaging, but learning what's inside of it when you unwrap the box and open it up and look inside. Your key numbers, though, are the 5, 4, 5, 1, and 4. Your best days are always on a Wednesday, a Sunday, and then a minor way, a Monday. And you're going into a year, to be very honest with you, it's going to make you or force you, I shouldn't say force you, there's a word than that, where you will be obligated, okay? That's a better way of putting it. You're going to be obligated to get your act together, to get everything in a row. But it's going to be worth it to it too. And again, your numbers are the 5, 1, and 4. Okay, let me just go to see if anybody made a donation, because I always check it there and see I found somebody. Hold on. Let me see. So one person, I see 2 persons. Look at the time. So I'm going to get them straight first. Miss G, thanks so much for the donation. She's April 1st. Now, this person is a fire sign with a fire number. What that means is sometimes too much of is sometimes as challenging as none of. But when you got a fire sign with a fire number, that tells me this person, whoever they are very active. They're very much into their own space. And the fact that you're born between 4 and 5 a.m. tells me your sun is probably in the first or the second house, the house of personality or the house of possession in the second sign. But nonetheless, though, it tells me you have a lot of get up and go. This particular year has put you in a situation of really getting it together. And you will find that next year is going to be a whole sea change, allowing you the opportunity to come and go, to explore all the ventures and varieties of this world has to offer. And if you got a person that wants you to toe the line, they're going to have problems with you. Why ain't you here? Why ain't you there? Stuff like that. So they're going to get their feelings hurt if they think you can do that, because your thing is about breathing. All righty. So that is your numbers are 1, 4, and 9, and your best days are always on Sunday and Tuesday. Now, this is from one of my favorite ladies. I know you'll say, Lord, you'll always say, well, I got a lot of favorite ladies. What you want? Anyway, so greetings, brother. I have a serious business week next week on Monday to Thursday. My star 8 is not working. Yes, that's because, Yana, the app has been hacked. I found out a couple of days ago. I have been really, I call myself not bugging it, but I've been on the case about, and see, because I'm new at this, like updates and this, that, and other. So this is another experience in my pile of experiences I learned during this app. But they assured me that it should be up and running very, very soon. And if not, call me and I'll hook you up, okay? And by the way, Yana, she's Yana to me, Dr. Woodhouse to you guys, okay? So y'all address her as Dr. Woodhouse because she is a doctor. But that's my girl, that's Yana. Her key numbers are the 3, 2, and 7, and Thursdays and Mondays are her best days. Now let me go to one more person that donated, because I don't want to keep my moderator long. Let me see. Where are they? I saw them. I saw 2. There we go. Okay, NZT. Okay, you didn't give a birthday, but thank you. So let me do 7, 5, okay, 9. That adds up to 16. So when I do under the Chaldean system, I'm doing the Chaldean system. 5, N is a 5, Z is a 7, T is a 4. So that's 9, that's 16. So that tells me with this initial you gave me that you could have probably been a Cancer or a Pisces, or born on the 2nd to 7th, the 11th to 16th, the 20th, 25th, or 29th of the month. And it also tells me with this initial that whoever you are, you would do well in analysis, research, investigation, going down the rabbit hole, getting to the bottom of things, being a detective in life symbolically, with a searcher of knowledge and a seeker of wisdom and understanding and a higher mind in terms of the things that guide us that sometimes we can't see that goes on in the heavens. Okay. So I think that's it. Okay. I want to thank all of you very, very much. Let me read more blessed and then I'll stop, I guess. What say you, Brother Lloyd, about 11/19? You got a birthday coming up in about 16 days. No, excuse me, today's the 13 days. Okay. So you want to do a lot of things and have big plans. Well, that makes sense because you're going to be going into a 3 personal year. How did I do it? Simple. I took November the 19th in my head, of course, added to the year coming up, 2025. That adds up to a 3. Now, I get excited because if you go to an astrologer, they're going to always look for 2 planets where Jupiter is located and in what house is found, which is also your beneficent, your beneficial sides, and what planet where this Saturn is found, which means your challenges or roadblocks in life. Well, you are going into, my friend, a abundance, a cycle of abundance, a cycle of prosperity, a cycle of shall we say, improvement, a cycle of contacts and resources, a cycle where everything that you want will manifest itself. It's like bringing your fruit to market. Okay, a cycle where you begin to express yourself, a cycle that tells me to the negative, you need to avoid getting caught up in anyone's scandals and gossip. Don't get caught up in these stuff like that. It also deals with legal and legal matters too, to the challenging side of that cycle you will be entering into. And especially since it's in the 9 personal year. And again, 9 is governing Scorpio. So it indicates one of your signs, but it means don't get too carried away because 3s can go to excess when in that cycle. So whatever it is, kind of keep a balance. All right, that's it. Yeah. And they starting a consultant side of their business to transition. So their best days Monday out of Fridays. What say me? I say you're gonna have a good time. That's what I say. Your numbers are 1, and look at all those ones you got. You got ones and nines, you got 4 ones, you got 2 nines, you got 2 sevens. Nines and sevens are found on the spiritual plane. So that tells me there's always something intuitively spiritual about you where you don't have to go to church or any house of worship. But I'm looking at all those ones with your leadership numbers, which means you should have done well in law, medicine, or science, or being an entrepreneur, going into your own business. In fact, Ted Turner, who used to be the single individual that owned the most land as an individual till Bill Gates took all the land, was born on that day, November 19th. Okay, Ted Turner. Anyway, so your numbers are 149, and your best days are always on a Sunday and a Tuesday. So everybody, I want to thank you very much. My time is up. I do want to thank all my sponsors. I'm going to work backwards with my sponsors, and my sponsor is Jazz Aphrodite. She is beginning she's going to be advertising or sponsoring out the holiday seasons with us here on Live with Lloyd. Holiday sales, 20% off. Just use the code 2020 now for consultations, planning, and report. She is one of the best of the best. I can vouch for her. I've attended one of her classes, actually a couple, but she's very impressive. And the sister don't play. So I know you're going to get your money's worth. That's why she sponsored. If she was no good, I would tell her, no, you know we cool, but you can't sponsor nothing on this show. You know better than that. But she's good. So anyway, Rizza Islam, his supplements, all you got to do is click on the QR code and type in the word numbers to get your discount. On Saturday at Nicholas, Brooklyn, they're going to have Brother Inkaru, who talked about precious metals. In fact, when I start my power series next year on January through December, in March, he is going to be on my power series called The Cycle of Precious Metals, or The Power of Precious Metals. Everything is going to be the power of this, the power of visualization, the power of family, the power of money. But he's going to be talking about the power of precious metals. That's going to be in March. In fact, I'm going to be having a listing so you can all register for the classes. It's going to be about 90 minutes or so, which is so certain things that cannot, well, I don't see why they avoid guidelines, because I don't be talking about no revolution or nothing like that. But things are very sensitive now. So the First Amendment ain't really the First Amendment the way it used to be. But my power series will allow us to stretch out and gain knowledge that goes beyond guidelines, so to speak. Okay. Also, but that's going to be this Saturday at Nicholas, Brooklyn at 1396 Fulton Street. And also Eric Taylor. This is a wonderful gentleman. His wife is just as beautiful as he is, and they're just very, very good. Also, Miss Kimberly, Manifest on Purpose, and on the 1st of January, she's going to have her Vision Board Mastery class. So please sign up. I have paid for my course. I paid for my slot already. And Jazz will tell you, when she had one of her classes, I paid for it. It ain't about, well, girl, you've been on my show. You know, you need to give me a break. No, we don't. Why do we do that with each other? We don't do it with other folks. We need not. So I paid my money. I paid all of my money, full money, to attend this course. And I suggest that y'all do that too. Okay. So other than that, I do want to thank you for the newsletter is out. Okay. You got that. I made an error. You know, I'm just saying I made an error. I put in the wrong code so y'all can go and hear the audio version. This is the audio version. If you click on that barcode or take a screenshot with your camera or freeze it on your phone, all you got to do is use that QR code. It will take you directly to there, and then you pick out the time slot that governs your zodiac sign. So I've started this. This started back in about 6 months ago, so you could read in it. So what I write in the newsletter and what you hear in the audio version is two different things. And this is what we do. So this is us talking about what's up for November, what's going on, the cycle and things like that. And so it's a lot of fun. So I want to thank everybody very, very much for joining us today. On Monday, I'm having Kendra. She is a wellness person and talking about health. So every Monday, I'll try to have something that deals with the raising of our consciousness. And every Wednesday, I'd like to come in and get into your business a bit. Okay. Not much, just a little bit. Okay. So everybody, I want to thank you very, very much. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Take good care of yourselves. And some of y'all are down with the election, but like, you know, in the down in the dumps, but it don't make no difference. There are a whole lot of things going on that you and I don't have no awareness of, but it is what it is, and that's it. So whether I like the person or not, I always give credit where credit is due. So congratulations to Donald J. Trump, who became the president. And had it been Kamala Harris, I'd have said congratulations to Kamala Harris. I don't play favorites. Okay. That's how my dad raised me. And I'm glad he did. He taught me how to thank God. Trust me. Okay. Because, we all kind of like hating on each other when there's no need. Anyway, y'all have a nice weekend. Take care. See you Monday.